Okay, I think we can kind of soft start right now. If someone is comments, is not going to lose any information, important information at least. Do you, any of you have experience with React at all? Okay, not bad. Other have experience with native applications? Okay, so we have the best of both worlds here. So, okay. First of all, I'm going to tell my background. I'm Francisco Gutierrez. Everybody call me Piki. You can call me Piki. It's a nickname from my family, so it's okay to use it. I came from frontend. I started to use Angular, later on React, and later on React Native. For those that come from native, React Native is only, React is just like smart HTML. It's very, very short story about long story. But it's like smart HTML. You can have their own JavaScript version, which is called JSX, which allows like tags and everything like this. It's not HTML. It's a common mistake to mix this HTML with real HTML because it's class instantiation. It's a syntaxes properly talking. So it's very fun how this React code became very, very popular and is becoming like the common ground for interfaces, because websites were becoming interfaces, very good interfaces, used by everyone. If you make a website, it's an interface that is going to work in every device. So React take that opportunity, create a code that is very similar to HTML, and create a way of viewing smart HTML, things that HTML cannot do. But later on, smartphones, iPads, tablets, Android, and everything, it seems that this interface is not fast enough. So they started to create React Native. React Native is taking these syntaxes I was talking about, this language, JSX, and translate it to native code. So it's almost the same code that you use in HTML websites. You can use it in native application, and it's almost the same performance as the natives. So this is not about React Native. This is about styling your React Native applications. It's one of the ways of styling it, I want to say. And I want to give you a smart view on this environment, so we have a common ground between us in order to move on. I create a GitHub repository. You can see it here. It's GitHub with a commit for one step at a time. So if you want to learn it, you can go to this link. You go to this repository. You can go to the history of this project. And if you get lost somewhere, you can go back, see what I'm doing, and done. It's very small commits in order to guide you in the future if you want to access to this tutorial. The titles of these are linked to the step that you're going to need to understand these slides. And this is the QR to this one. Okay, I want to start right up coding, because once you, if you hear me talk about a lot, you never learn anything. You have to see the code going on. So first, this is someone has no idea about npm or Node or something? Do you have experience installing packages? I guess you have. Okay, this command is to install something you are going to need. Is the, you have a laser, no? This one. Okay, I have to ask where. Yeah, nice. So npm install globally these three things. Okay, React Native. You even don't need this one, but it's good to have it. React Native app, which is a boilerplate, very good for start doing things and realize how amazing it is to have this running in both devices, in Android or iOS or something. Even you can install React Native for web, and you can deploy the three platforms with one single code. It's pretty cool indeed. So, and React DevTools is used to debug inside the devices. Because sometimes you need to know what the styles have, everything. You will see it. I will share with you, and you can see it. So once you have installed these packages, are not very light, by the way, you will have you can use this command to create a new application. The application is styling demo. I create this styling demo. I call it tutorial styling demo or something. It creates a folder. You put everything you need there in order to have the application running, up and running. You get inside, and we are this package here, NativeBase. This tutorial is about NativeBase styling. There's another ways to do it. There's Southern, there's styled components and everything, but this is about React NativeBase. NativeBase is like a library that you have like Bootstrap, if you remember this library. It's kind of that. It's not exactly that, but it's kind of that. Have several components that you can use, and they are pretty similar between platforms, or you can use it seamlessly. You can say something. It's a library with buttons, web views, everything inside that. Maybe web view doesn't matter. Okay. And then when you have done this, NativeBase, this is only installing this library in your project. Once you have that, we write this. Node is from NativeBase eject theme. What is doing this thing? This thing is going to create a bunch of files, JS files, with all the styles by default in NativeBase, with a lot of components. Okay, I'm going to show you right now. Where are these files? Okay, we go here. This is the application. If not, if you are connected to Cyclone Guest, you can access directly with this IP and this port. Yeah, you see this folder is new folder when you create this, and you have components, and you have a lot of components here. A lot of components that is from React Native Base. If we go inside, we can see they have all the variables of this component. Okay, primary, background, and everything. It's a style. It's React way of style things. It's very similar to CSS, but it's camel case instead of kebab case or other case. And we have it's like JavaScript. You can use variables, you can use functions, and so on and so forth. Okay, this is not done for me. This is for NativeBase. And they have a very similar to CSS interface, coding style. Okay, so we have this stuff, and we have an index here. This index have everything here and exported. Okay, have everything exported. The other files we have here is this IPP.js, and it's having this. It's very simple one. View is like a div in HTML, and text is like a spam, something similar. It's not exactly the same. So you can go to the terminal and yarn start if you want to see it in your device, or yarn iOS, as I did, to have this emulator open, because I am running a Mac. I can have the Xcode emulator, and you see this is the text here. This is the text. If you see here, we have container, and we have here background color. We can put red, and it's becoming red immediately. It's hot reloading. It's cool stuff indeed, because you can do everything. You start by doing in the moment zero of your application. It's encourage you to go forward and climb the mountain of development of a project very easily. Okay? So this is what we have after done the step I said. Okay? We eject the theme. We start Yarn iOS in this case, but Yarn start. We have this IP. You can connect with your laptops, or with your devices, smartphones, and so on. And you have this is very plain. This is React Native code. This is native-based code. This one is native-based code. Okay? Any question right now? Please interrupt me in any moment. Okay. So the first thing we are going to do is that if we see this, look what they are doing here. In React Native, they create all the things are, there is no CSS. There is no like styling stuff. Like you create a class in CSS, you import the CSS, magically it's happening. This is not happening in React Native. So they pass this like inline objects. There are inline objects. Okay, you can see it here. Style. This is a function, so it doesn't matter you define it here because it's a function. This one is a class. Until you don't instantiate it, it's not taking this object, this object really. And we have this are the values, exactly like CSS. So we are using this one here. NativeBase is not used already. It's not used. It's only used for NativeBase component, which we haven't imported. You know, here we have only React Native. This is not native-based component. So this is not doing anything. This is the boilerplate. This is what we need to move forward. Okay. So right now, I'm going to. The next thing we are going to do is create a provider that will is high-order component. Is something that will magically apply the styles of the styles to the components. So you can generate it later. So let's go here. Okay, this is the provider. This is what we're going to do. Look, this is the style provider. Okay, it's something that get the theme components. You see, get the theme, all the files. This index we just look in the NativeBase components folder, and we take these variables. These are variables that you can insert in your theme because allow you to theme your application. You can change one color and you will change in the whole application. They are variables. Some of you will be familiar with SAS or less, something like this. These are the variables that you put in a file called variables. Okay. This is variables material. You have platform, you have material platform, and something else. I don't remember. But there's few variables to have the look of material design or something like this. To NativeBase, because this, as you can see, this is NativeBase. And then this we have a provider that you have children and you create this component. This is a very easy component. We use it in the main application. This is a higher order component, so this thing will pass all these properties, style and everything, to the bottom. But it's transparent, it's kind of decoupled. Right now, you only see that this provider is created and working. So I'm going to move forward on the project on Git. Style provider, I think it's this one. Yeah. So we go here. Let's go to the code. It's here. Now we have it. Style provider. As you can see, we haven't even changed this. It's only saying this thing, styles container. Okay? So it's exactly the same, but look at this. We have created this style provider. This is the thing that are going to connect this style provider to the application. but not in this step. So we go here. Now the next step is connect the style with the component. You see, in this code we can see here we have created this object, and we use this connect style function. This is for NativeBase. I will show you in the browser. You have no space in the slide, so it's imported from NativeBase, and this is going to say, this is saying, please connect this style to this component. We are going to call it whatever, Picky, okay, because it's my name. With these default styles, these are the default styles, and this component. This component is this component. So connect this component to this component. So when it loads this component, it will connect it because I'm using this export directly connected. Okay? I'm going to show you the code. Let's move first to good. Okay. Oh, did they move? Okay. Maybe I already create the provider connected here. Yeah. Style provider. Okay. So the component provider is done here. Let's see. I will save it. Okay, I create a theme and I connected already. So we have this component. Forget about this code. This is about installing a font on the system. Okay, you can check it later, but it's a environment variable. It doesn't matter. What it does is get theme material to prop children. Okay, it's the component we just watched in the arrows picture. It's only doing import this, get components, variable, materials, and everything. Look, get theme from components. Components is here because this component is index.js. Okay, when you don't put anything after the folder, you have to use index. So it's here, and we have get theme. And this is the default, which is the other one. This the other one. So we are having all these variables injected there. Okay? So we have it here. And we have everything installed. I think this is have to change. Right now it's changed because have no style at all. Okay? We have this, and this is the app we are creating. My component, we have my component here, is this one. Look, this is my component. And we have, I create a component in order to have only one component with the styles different. So this is the app, and the app is loading my component, which is loading this code right here. Okay? But look, this is the difference. I imported from NativeBase connected style. I exported my component, but my component here is with the connected style. It's not this one. My component without any styles is this one, and I'm passing by this as a default style for the component. So if you look here, here is the big difference. Here is the big difference. It receives the props for the style, and inside have container. And it's just working, because if I put here it's working again. And it's not physically connected like before. It was a variable, a constant before, and right now we are passing by this through connected style. This is the main thing I want to show you here. So let's move on. So these are the most painful steps in the process. You create a provider, and you connect to the components, and you put the variables inside and everything. But from now on, we are going to create a file with a style like we do with the CSS. It's like a CSS file. We are going to create this. We can receive variables. It's a function. And we are going to generate this component name here. You see? I put picky.myComponent. This is the right way of saying it. This is the theme you are creating. I call it picky, you can call it whatever. And this is the name of the component you are styling. So .component. I put it here like a style name. And you use the same style name to have in the style group. Okay? So we are going to put this inside the index of the components. We have a list of NativeBase, and we are going to inject it there. It's going to be like other components. So it's going to be in the same space as the components you receive. So let's see the code. Okay, I think it's this one. Okay, we move here. We are going to first, let's see what we have just done. Okay. In my component right now, we are not passing anything. I wonder what are we going to do is not pass anything here. Okay, nothing in my component. Now we are writing everything, decoupling the style from the application. So the designer or one other developer can start to dig into the styles without breaking the code of the coder for the application. So as you see, I imported the style name here. This is the style of the component. Let's go to this one. Yeah, it's always failing. My component style. Okay, I have it here. My component style, and this is it. Okay, as I show you, picking my component, this is the style name, and these are the styles for this. I put the object, exactly the same object, not to change anything, only change this. Now brand primary is the color of the text. It's coming from variables. Variables are here. We are using material, for example. You have a lot of variables here with colors and everything. If I'm going too fast, please stop me, because I'm very familiar, and you know, when you're familiar with something, you tend to think it's easier. But you have different variables here. Use this. I have to double click the other one. Well, this one. Okay. So as you see, I put flex1, orange, I put align items and everything. And in the index, this file I have to import it on the index. On the components. You see, this is the theme file. The index is the theme file. You define everything here. Everything is, for example, toast is defined here using variables, brain danger and everything. It's from React Native. But every component is imported here in the index. Have all the variables, they pass all the variables, and I put my custom components right here, which is the style I have just created. This style is included there. Okay, I use a middle component to have a middle function to get so I can change minimum the index.js. But let's take a look on the index.js again. Okay, I imported custom components, which is my components, all the components you have seen before, and I pass it just here with a spread. This is a spread operator. Yeah, it's only saying put this object inside all the indexes of this object inside this one. So clone all the properties like an associative array or something like this, put it inside it. So we have it here, all the components are here, this is included. So this is why this should be working. We are connecting the theme. Now the theme have my style. I have orange here, and it's going to apply it. And I want to call the attention only I'm importing the style name. If I change the style name and I put, let's do a classic. It's have no style because I changed the name. It's like a class name in CSS. It's like a class name. So if we go to, if I put the same name, it's working. We have this component applied. I want to see it. I define the name here. This is the name it's going to apply, and this is the way it's connecting. I use a constant to have exactly the same problem, to don't have a mismatch between strings. Because if I put something and I miss a key, I can be 2 hours looking what is the problem. My style is not working. Okay? This is why I create a constant here in order to have this syntax. Okay? So as you see, right now we only have put one object in other places in order to connect it, and we just decouple the styles and the application. But the next step is to have, because I think this, look, we have container here. Okay, I take container from property style, and I take test, but this is kind of annoying, no? Because we are populating the code with styles. We are putting a style in every tag, which is in the end is going to be more characters, harder to read. It's going to be less clean code. You want to see logic there. You want to see a lot of stuff. You don't want to see a style all alone, unimporting logic, and so on. So the next step we are going to do is we are create selectors in NativeBase in order not to use these objects, but use selector in NativeBase. In order to do this, we have to use, instead of view from text and view, instead of from React Native, we have to use it from NativeBase. As I told you, NativeBase is a library and have sometimes same components as React Native, but you can style them. You can say, this component from NativeBase, I want you to show it like this. And you don't have to put any styles on that. You don't have to write a style equal to some variable. So let's move on. We are here. We are connect tags with the styles. This car. Okay. Nice. Okay. As I told you, we have view and text from NativeBase. We have view and not from React Native. This is useless. I leave it here. I don't know why. But from NativeBase, we only have this connected style, view, and text. And we are just connecting this. Connecting style name to the style name and passing a default null. We don't have default because we are editing in the theme what we want for this one. So the theme is this one. And look, NativeBase allows you to use these selectors. So we have the component. The first thing you see there is a view. It's a view from NativeBase. So you use the selector nativebase.viewMV, NativeBase, twice, nativebase.view MV, and you have there the same properties. You don't have to write anything else. And inside this view, there is a text. And this is what I want inside this. This is the color I want for this view, for this text, okay? Because it's inside, I nested inside it. And I use, look at this, this is a string. It's a string. So it's a selector, it's a string. Because you have to use dots, it's forcing you to use strings. Okay? So we can see that, oh, it broke. But it's expo. Or maybe it was. Oh, okay, let's launch it again. So this is the way you start doing styles inline. Because styles inline in the end is for a web developer is like hell having styles inline. But even for not a web developer in native, which is the only way of doing this, is contaminating or is populating your code with things that are not also much related with the code you're writing. You prefer to do selectors like view and b or something, and it's transparent to you that it's not, you are not touching any style or something. Okay? Do you have any question right now with this? No? Okay, it's launching this. Okay. Okay, we have it. Okay, we put the brand primary color there, and the application is working. And I'm going to show you, you see, this is brand primary, is applied to the text. There are 3 texts here, 3 lines. These 3 lines are text, like paragraphs in web. And we are saying these are brand primary. Okay? This is a variable come from platform, in this case by default, by platform, but it's going to use material because in the theme we say we want material theme. So this is the default variable, but I don't want to confuse you with this. Just this, selectors is the important part to decouple the style and the coding of your component. Okay, I don't remember what is the next. Okay, we have the style inside the theme. We already watched that. We are creating this. I let you to dig into the GitHub in order to see how the theme are imported into the provider and the theme is generated. But it's creating files, putting it somewhere, and inherit this object inside the theme. It's no big deal, and I think you can do the leap on the GitHub, seeing the code change with this explanation. Okay. So we have this. You see? Now we are going to use selectors and modifiers. Wait a minute. I want to see which is the commit for this one. There is one thing that is very useful in CSS. Yeah, this is the style name modifier, so it's okay, it's very easy. So, come on. Okay, so we go to style names and modifiers here. So, this is the basis, okay? We make selectors. We sometimes need okay. Yeah. Okay. Imagine that you need, for example, imagine Bootstrap. Everybody has used Bootstrap. So you have button. You have button primary, you have button secondary. You have to style that. How you're going to do this on React Native? It's kind of, okay, I have to create everything else. I have to create a new component. No, you can use properties as modifiers. You can set, for example, something equal true in the tag you are modifying, and it will get like a class, like it's a different class, like it's secondary or primary. I'm creating this with this very bad chosen name, my component. This is a modifier. We are going to change it for something else later. So it's clear. So let's say secondary, okay? Secondary. So I am saying when this view has the property secondary true, apply this style and we'll override the previous one, background color, okay? So I'm going to my component. We have here my component true. Let's say better. It's better to understand. Secondary. You don't have to write true, by the way, but wait, yeah. You don't have to write true, but I will do it for. Oh, yeah. I'm switching between Spanish and English. You don't have to write this, but for non-React expertise, if you put secondary, it's going to set it to true. But I'm going to explicitly put it here so we know what we're doing. I'm saying this is true. When it has secondary, we have this, and we have no. How is save everything? Yeah, no. I have to save everything. So I'm saying this is background white. This is background white here. The view is background white, but when it's secondary. When it's secondary, it's going to be orange. Let's see. Cross my fingers. Yeah. So let's go here. We put false. It's applied. So you can put modifiers, CSS modifiers to this. It's very useful, and you have to remember that it's very useful also for first and last. We don't have first child here. We don't have first child. We don't have last child. We don't have even or odd selectors like in CSS. You can say, I want the even ones to be red and the other ones to be white. You can say that. You have to put a property to have this. You put even, for example, and you do the I don't know the word in English, but the rest of dividing by 2 and everything. So you can calculate that. And we are going to see it with an example right now, with first and last, and start doing some tricky tricks. So, any question right now with this?
How do you concatenate different styles? So for example, you have now the secondary one that is orange.
Yeah.
I'm applying the style to a button. I want to have the button in orange and I don't know, with another alignment. Or
okay, let's put here ternary. It's tertiary, no? Is that right? Well, okay, I'm not English. I'm going to put it here. Not equally, okay? So I'm proving here that it's going to be true. So if we go here, you can put it here, for example. You can say, for example, here you can apply other styles, okay? Wait. Where it is? Yeah. I really don't know. Yeah, nice. Tertiary. I get right. Tertiary. Why I should choose this name if I don't know how to write it twice right. Okay. Ternary. Okay. Yes. No. Okay. If you write here something else, it's going to work also. if you are using the same, the main thing about classes is that you shouldn't have contradictory classes. So let's do another rule. Okay, like for example, align items. Let's put I think it's flex start or something like this. Huh? Again. By the way, those that come from now it's not applying. It's not applying because it's flex start with a I don't know. Okay. It's not applying because it's not safe. This one. Okay. So let's see. You see? It's the line. So you can pile these styles up. Everything you like. If you are applying different properties, style properties with contradictory rules, you're doing bad. You shouldn't do that. Never. If you have some rules, for example, like bold, you should have a rule to say bold, and only apply bold when it's bold. If you have bold and then you apply bold and light, you are crazy. So you don't have to do this. So, but even you can change this, change this dot something dot something. You can do this. In NativeBase, you have to do nested. You have to do nested, but it's not good idea. It's better to have flat than to have nested stuff. Okay. Okay. Let's discard the changes. Let's see what is next. Yes. My button, I create a selector that was very bad call, like my button selector. But you can use it like I showed you. Okay. We are going to move forward, and I'm going to show you a lot of things that can be done with this. And I'm going to go to, I'm going to go with to the last one here. Discard changes. Oh, bang in your face. Yeah. Okay. Now we have a very silly stuff and very ugly stuff. It doesn't seem to be a tutorial about styling, but very simple examples. Maybe the better. So you can you think that you can become better than me, which is not very hard because I'm not very good at styling anything. So what we have here four buttons, and we have here another 4 buttons. Okay, it's the same button, in different places. We have it in a column in the left, and we have it in the top. It's classic web design. Because this is very bad because it's a mobile phone, so it shouldn't be like this. But it's a good example how to apply CSS to components. Okay. So first of all, one rule, and this is a problem with the CSS. The problem is that designers doesn't like the code, doesn't like the code. They like Photoshop, they like Illustrator. They don't like this stuff about writing stuff about what they're seeing, and they are not good at them. And coders doesn't like styling because it's like, oh, CSS, oh, the worst language ever. It's not real programming. It's not programming at all, indeed, because it's a description language. But someone have to do it, and it have to be done right. The 60% or 40% of your application is the view, the UX, or the UI. So we shouldn't be running away of good practices with the CSS. Here it was the ad about CSS company, and this is it. So we have this, and these buttons. I'm going to show you how to style things inside other stuff. With this bar is blue, okay? And we have here that these buttons are like this and have a space between them. and these ones have a vertical space. As you remember, I told you, never use rules that are contradictory to them. And you have to think two different stuff in the class and the modifiers. How do you will put this margin? Where do you put it, this margin? Someone have an idea? Do you create a modifier to be like horizontal button or something? So some people, I just explained that. Maybe it's your first reaction. The first reaction is, okay, I create horizontal. Horizontal have to be have to have this margin. But my advice is never do outside the box of the component you are doing style. Don't put the separation inside the button. Put it in the parent one, because it's the parent one which is applying these modifiers. It's saying, okay, when you have a button inside, this button have to have a margin left except the last one. We agree? So we define the style of the top header, and we inside that we say, but the buttons now have a margin left. And we don't touch the style of the button because really the button doesn't change. If you want to change the color of the button, you create a modifier. Okay? So let's see the code. Here, the components, my app. Okay, I have I create my app. So we have this. Okay, we are creating connect with this style. So let's open it. And let's see what we have inside. Oh, again. Let's see what we have inside my app. I imported from NativeBase body, connect style, content, container, header, left, text. It's very description names. So you can imagine how it is used. We have a container, the whole application. We have a header. This is the blue bar we have up. This is horizontal menu, which is a component that have this array, receive this array. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have a body, a left with the buttons again, a content with the content here. So if we look the application, we see the content is there. It's nothing new. Okay. So let's see what horizontal menu does. Okay, we go to components. See why I cannot open. Sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. With the components here. This is horizontal menu. Okay, horizontal menu have this, is connected to style also. We are connecting the stuff here, and we are saying we have a view. Inside the view we have a lot of buttons here, and we're doing here, like I told you before. We are having here this last. We have a last index is the last index, checking the last index of the array. We are doing the equivalent of for each, which is a map here, several languages. We put number, which is the text, and the index. And we are putting one key. We have to create one key every time we create a for each in React. And we are saying if index is 0, is the first one. If it's last, is the last one. Apply this class, because it's going to be false only into a situation is going to be true. Okay. So let's see what the style does. We have this. Look, we have padding top. Okay, I think it's a good moment to show React DevTools. You remember I installed this when I installed Create React Native App. It's a tool that will show you. It will open like an inspector from Chrome. Indeed, it's an inspector from Chrome. I can go here, and I can go inspect here, and we can see. Okay, we go. Styled container view. Style header view. We have this. Okay, this is the way of you can see where all the style is received. You can check it here. Even you can change it here if you like. So you can see how it's working, and you can change it later in your code. It's like Chrome. If we said padding top, we can change it here, and it's working. We can see the padding top is set up here. Padding top view MB 16, padding bottom, whatever. Look, so I create my button selector here. I create my button selector coming from here. Button. This is the style of the button. Okay. I get to the button. It's only CSS. So, I have to go back again. Okay, let's have it open, and we go to here. So I put this selector here. It's like I put exactly like my button. If I put this, it's going to work the same way. Okay, my button. So I put here. I say in horizontal menu, the button has this margin left equal to margin left. I put font size and variable, and margin left. And I say when it's first, margin left 0, because all of them have to have margin left except the first one. It's like we are saying first child in the old CSS. Okay, but I can say more things like background color. I hope red. You see, first one is red. Why? Because we have the horizontal menu doing this stuff, saying when it's first it's equal 0, index 0, and when it's last is the last one. We can even have the last one if we want. We can say here first. We can say button. We can say exactly the same thing. Yeah, baby. Here. Let's write here last, and let's write here green. Can be even worse than it was before. What happened here?
Line
28? No, it should be there. Should be work. 28. This one? No, this one is this one. This one is okay. No, this one? No, this one. You said this one. Should be there, because you can write commas in the last JavaScript. You can leave the commas in the last.
But it's inside of the first.
What?
Inside of the first.
Yes, it's inside of the first. Yeah, right. Thank you. So let's go. What is the first closing? Wow. Okay. Yeah, this is the right one. And green. Now it's okay, huh? Yeah. And okay, let's launch it again. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so this is a good way to show that you should change the object, and you can nest the selectors even with your own components. You can nest it inside. So remember not to put margins outside, because if you put it in the bottom, every time you put it, you're going to say, okay, but now I don't need this margin. I only need margins with this case. So don't put things that aren't from outside in the other stuff. So you see, we have it here. Last one is green, have no margin because we inherit the no margin. We put it again. And the first one is red, and so it's working. So maybe in this moment you want to kill me about the colors I choose, but okay, let's remove this. We can remove this from here, and we can remove this from here. And now, yeah, we save it, we have it. When we use a modifier, let's do in vertical menu, I add a shadow. I don't know if you can watch it here. I think it's, you can put it with, okay. But in vertical menu animation, we can say here, let's see what I did. I say shadow. You see? Shadow. If we go to my button style, I put when it has when it's shadow, it has shadow opacity dot 2. So this one are going to have shadow. It's a modifier. It's like transparent, primary, shadow, whatever. Because you can reuse this in other places, but it's not outside the component, the button component. The last thing I'm going to show you is that two important things. First of all, is that you can use the styles to store that designers are going to change easily. One big example. Imagine that you have a component, you have a website, okay, and we are doing websites again, and we have an animation of the buttons appearing. The left sidebar is appearing like fading. It's very easy in web because you create transition, you add or you create animation, and this is done. What is going to happen next? The designer is going to you and say, oh, but I like it so much, but it could be a little bit more fast. So you are going to tweak in the CSS, you are going to just change it one variable to other. Even you can do it in the browser. So you say, okay, now is dot point 3, 1 second, 2 seconds, whatever. It's very easy, and it's decoupled. You don't have to touch the code in order to change the application. But we have a problem here because animation are not ruled by NativeBase. There is no animation on CSS on React Native. It's only in line. You can change, interpolate stuff. You can do JavaScript stuff, but it's not carried on by the theme variables. It's not you cannot write anything in the theme to change these variables. So you have to prepare your component to receive these variables, and you can store these variables inside your component, inside your theme. You put there duration 1 second, and if later on this designer, which is a pain in the ass, say, oh, it's one, can you add a little bit more, just a little bit more. You only change this variable, and you don't have to go to the code, look where the line is defined, and so on and so forth. So, vertical menu, we have vertical menu style. And look, we have several objects here. One is with the native view, you see? This is the native view, and this is the buttons. We put stretch. This is making. This is making these buttons to go the whole width of the column. Margin top and all the variables there. Okay. So this is a selector for NativeBase, but I put here variables, animation props, style, background color, powder blue, this is the blue thing, duration 2000, start 0, finish 1, because it's opacity from 0 to 1. Okay, if we change this, let's take a look. Okay, I'm going to put here 5. You see, it's 5 seconds now appearing. I'm going to show you how to do it. It's not a big deal. Okay, you have to know animation, which is not so easy, but at least you can create a component with this pretty enough. Even if I put here 0.5, never tested, but I guess it's working, it's going to finish on 0.5. It's never going to be fully opacity there. It's a good idea because designers change of mind every single time. So you prefer to go this file, it's like a JSON, you change it, works, and you forget about that. So let's give it 2 seconds, and look, I create vertical menu animation. It's a component that receives children and something like this, and I have everything copied from the most basic example from React Native. This is not about animation, which my colleague Alejandro can make a very good speech sometimes, someday. And it's have a timing, and you say, I put here props finish, props duration, and this is data, and so on, and opaque fade animation, and prop style. Okay, we are receiving everything from the props, and the duration I think is duration have to be somewhere. Yeah, here. Okay, we have all the stuff from there. So this is the animation component. You put anything inside, it's going to animate it. Okay. If you are not familiar with React Native, this is kind of tricky. You have to get used to it, but it's not a big deal. You create this, and you render it, and you say everything you receive from children, you do this effect. Okay, in vertical menu, we use this animation. Fade in view, we call it fade in view. And we put fade in view, view, so on and so forth. And this is why, look, I'm passing by this style animation props, and I'm doing a spread. You know what it's doing? This is taking all this animating props. This is the style of the animation. This is the duration. We are passing by all the properties to the animation from the style. So you only have to prepare your component to receive these props, and later on you only spread it. You say animation props, ... Everything is going to be like, it's the same as if I write here style equal these props, these props. I really hate the keyboard of the new Macs. Prop style, and we say here style. No, animation props dot style. Why? Because it's like saying all these props, passing by all these props at once. You see, animating props dot style is this thing, is this object. So it's exactly like writing this with all the properties, but I'm saying just copy all the properties inside the component. And then we have it. So this is why this thing is kind of working with this. You can stop there. One last thing. You will face, there is a lot of components that is missing in NativeBase, and you are nesting. You are mixing all the components, for example. this animation, look, the structure of this vertical menu is fading view, which is have no style. And look, I didn't change the selector. I didn't put fading view selector like this. I didn't put something like fading view or something. And then nested all the stuff. Nothing changed. It's not broken. Why? Because fading view is a native React Native component. It's not a NativeBase, and it's completely ignored by NativeBase. So if you're mixing, look, fading view is this one. Look, have animated view, and you know, from React Native. So if you mix React Native and NativeBase component, you have to behave like the parent children that is React Native is not there. It's transparent. So if you have, imagine a view with 5 buttons, you start selecting the buttons because it takes you a long time to realize that this component is not coming from NativeBase. You cannot style it. This component is behaving completely independent. So this is a trick. Also, I put a branch in order to realize about this issue and the way of dealing with this NativeBase or other components that are not compatible with NativeBase. So you just have to switch to this branch, and you can see the step I made on GitHub. Okay, and it was the last thing, I think. Yeah. Go. Native. So I was one slide before. You see this view is transparent, completely transparent, because it's coming from React Native. So if it's coming from React Native, you are starting with the first NativeBase selector. You see, view is coming from React Native. So, and this is it. Any question? So you can see here, the first selector I put on my component is the view coming from NativeBase. It's not the fade-in. Okay. So thank you very much for this moment. If you have any question, I'm very pleased to answer your questions. But it was a long speech. Sorry to bother you. Good to remember that important place that styling have in the application and the UX. Okay. Even there are components in native web that transpile this kind of stuff to web and create CSS, very crappy one, but it works. So you save a lot of coding on using the same thing, same code for everything. Thank you very much.